Oh, and there he is, the golden boy himself. My man, please come in.
Can I have this coffee?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mi casa, su casa.
Mi casa is su casa. What's up, brother?
How are you? So good to see you. Please have a seat.
Man. Oh, good.
Thank you so much. You look fantastic, as always.
Do you have anything here?
Golden boy?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Come on.
You have a toy?
I mean, I have a Funko Pop.
We need to get that. I got nothing. You're right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to mess with your...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Great to see you, my friend.
How good, brother?
How's everything?
Beautiful.
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 Life is good?
Life is beautiful.
Man, we have a lot to talk about, Oscar.
Do we?
Yes, we have a lot to talk about. Where should we start? Let's start with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
How hard was it to put that fight together?
Not hard at all.
Really?
No. Yeah. I talked to, I talked to the Haney side.
Yes. Bill?
To Bill.
What a guy.
You know what? Great guy.
Great guy.
I talked to Bill. I talked to Haney like one time, maybe two.
Okay.
Just
Devin.
Quick. Yeah, to Devin.
Yeah.
Just quick. And boom, we got a deal done quick. I mean, it was no problem. Like literally, give us what we deserve.
Right.
Okay. And then with Ryan, no problem. See, I think this fight here, in a long time, we haven't seen something like this in boxing, where the best fight the best.
Mm-hmm.
And each side is obviously getting their worth. Each side this is a very competitive fight. This is a good fight, inside and outside the ring.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But that's why it was fairly easy to make, because both guys want to fight each other.
Was the original choice Rolly and or Isak? And if so, why did those not come to fruition and you go with Devin?
No, it wasn't the first choice.
Was Devin the first choice?
It was a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a choice.
Okay, but it wasn't like those two fell through and then you went to Devin.
No.
Because Devin's the bigger fight, right?
With a way bigger fight.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the Rollies Pitbull fight is literally an appetizer to what you're gonna see.
Right.
April 20th.
Was there any dealings whatsoever with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom here?
No, zero.
This is 1,000% a golden boy.
To do.
Right.
Eddie Hearn had nothing to do with this fight. This is a golden boy. See, Eddie Hearn is partners with the Zone USA.
Okay.
So I'm sure they're throwing a few crumbs at him.
Does that bother you?
I have no ego.
Okay.
Ego is not my amigo.
But, will he be at the press conference tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. The Zone people called me up saying, hey, just, let him up there. I was like, what the fuck is he going to be up there for? Like, isn't it uncomfortable for him, to put his face there? It had nothing to do with it.
Because Devin had no contractual obligations to Eddie after the Prograis fight.
No, zero whatsoever.
Right. So would you prefer him not to be up there?
I don't care.
Okay.
Look, at this point of my life, at this point of being a promoter now for 22 years, I just want to make fights.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm happy to be on stage and, and promoting, but I think what fighters don't understand, or what the public, the world doesn't understand, that there's a lot that goes behind the promotion. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of legwork that has to be done. I mean, everybody on the ground to put an event together, the press conferences, the storyline, there's so much. You just don't show up and wow, oh my gosh, who did all this? Let's collect our paycheck. No, there's a lot that goes behind it. So
and so this is a gigantic deal.
Yeah.
First time in quite a while that you promoted an event here in New York, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, why did you choose Barclays? Because initially we thought Vegas, we thought Cali probably because they had, some ties. Both guys have ties to Cali.
Sure.
The Barclays tweet that you sent out was very surprising, but a nice surprise for us. Selfishly, we love that it's so close.
Look,
why'd you choose Barclays?
The way I see it is, look, first of all, Canelo's the man in boxing, right? Whoever the star is, then almost dictates where he wants to fight, and it has to do with the casino executives and the MGM and this and that. We know that he fights Cinco de Mayo. We know that he fights in September. So we presented the deal to both sides. Barclays, yeah, everybody agreed on it.
Okay.
That's it. But the reason why I like it here and I love it, I have a plan as a promoter. And that's to get the most exposure, the best career path for a fighter, to generate the big dollars, not short term, but long term. You know what this fight does in New York, what it does for a fighter's career? It takes you to the stratosphere. What do they say? If you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. You know, who fought here? Ali, myself, all the greats, Canelo, Frazier. Everybody fights in New York and you become a global superstar. See, there's a plan that I have. There's a path that I know what fighters should take to become a megastar. And this fight here, you're not only becoming a Vegas champ, you're not only becoming a state champ, no, you're becoming a global superstar when you fight in New York.
Mm-hmm. Did you talk to MSG at all? Were they in the mix?
There's a conflict with basketball games.
Oh, okay.
And the NBA
yes,
and all
yes,
that.
Yes.
So it's more complicated than what people think.
Yes, of course.
You know, because this is a mega fight. It's a mega fight. And guess what? We're going to break records of the biggest gate in New York. We will break records with this fight at the Barclays.
Right. When do tickets go on sale?
Not sure yet.
Okay.
We're putting all that together.
But you feel confident this breaks the record, whatever the gate record is.
Super confident.
I think it might be UFC at that venue.
Is it?
I think so, from their pre-pandemic days.
Well, we'll break that record.
You put it out there, and then shortly after, Ryan said, like, nah, this is a MGM fight. He didn't seem too happy about that. Do you feel like he's on board now with this being in New York?
They wanted Barclays. His manager and Ryan, they okayed it.
Okay.
So it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that won't be an issue?
No issue.
Because there were some people, I think, afraid that it would get taken away from New York.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
New York, this is the place to be.
I have to say, the build-up to his last fight against Oscar Duarte was, I don't know, are you a pro wrestling fan?
Oh, yeah.
There was once a time where Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon went to, the boss and the...
I remember that, yeah.
This was the real-life version, it felt like. You and him together it might not have been fun for you guys. For us, it was theater.
Sure.
I mean, even on fight night, you saying, like, I wasn't allowed into the locker room to wish him well and all that.
Sure.
Was that awkward for you? Was any of that an annoyance? How would you describe that week in Texas?
It's awkward. It's awkward when you genuinely do not like the person, but it wasn't awkward to me because I understood the game. Look, media is everything, and the way you present a fight and the way the fan, the consumer perceives, the fight and how it's unfolding inside and outside the ring, it's entertainment. But man, Ryan's good. He's good when he does it. He's good, but it doesn't get to me.
It doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't.
Even when he didn't let you in the locker room on fight night?
It's okay.
It's all good.
All I'm trying to do for him is pave the way and to literally becoming the best fighter he can be. And you have to fight in New York. You have to fight in Vegas. You have to fight in, media capitals of the world to become a global superstar. But most importantly, the one thing that I try to do is I want him to gain the respect of the fight fans. I want him to gain the respect of boxers, of fighters, of the industry, because this will be his first legitimate world title. Mm-hmm. Him winning this will solidify him as the real deal.
What about at the presser? Did any of that bother you? On the Thursday? On the Thursday before the fight in Texas, he was standing up there, you were behind him, you were...
No, I just shake my head.
Okay.
I mean, I have a job to do, and that's to do the best job I can for him.
How would you describe the state of your relationship now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm cool, I don't know.
Did you see him back there?
No, I didn't see him.
Right now?
No, I didn't.
Oh, wow.
No.
He was just here a second ago.
I know, yeah, I was watching him on TV.
Yes.
But I like the kid.
Did you see what he said about, that he sent a text message with you and someone else who he wouldn't say, and said that you guys need to get on the same page, and if you don't get on the same page, he's done with both of you?
Yeah, that's his manager.
Okay.
That's
I had a feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the issue with you and the manager?
There's no issue. Well, Let's see. The issue is, what is the issue? Yeah. No, I'd rather not talk about it because there can be some potential consequences that will not be pretty for him.
Like the legal
side of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would rather not talk about it. But yeah, there was a disconnect. And I think there was a disconnect between me and Ryan because I never understood, like, man, I seriously, all I want is for him to be the biggest, the best, the baddest man on the planet, like literally.
Yeah.
Because that's my job. That's what I do. And I like him, you know? But then things that he's said about me or things that he questions me about, like, I'm like, whoa, you're literally poking the sleeping bear, you know? Like, just let him sleep.
And you don't take shit. Like, you'll respond.
I don't take shit.
Yeah. Would it be worthwhile to, like, have a dinner, you and him, and just, like, you guys alone and hash it all out, or is that not necessary?
I don't know. I would love to. Yeah, why not?
Do you think he wants to?
I don't know.
Maybe here in New York tonight?
Yeah, it could be.
Carbone?
Yeah, Carbone. Yeah, good restaurant, yeah.
Or the manager. I don't know if the manager is here as well. You guys can hash it out. Do you feel like you have a long relationship together now? Do you feel like you have fixed it?
Yeah, look, I'm just doing my job.
Right.
That's it. I'm just doing my job. My job is to organize and to put together and you know, and not think short term, but think long term. And this fight here in New York for Ryan, trust me, when it's all said and done, he will thank me. I believe that.
What do you mean by that?
He will thank me because New York is going to embrace him. New York is going to love him. I don't think he even knows that he does great numbers here in New York when he fights. People love him here, you know? And not only because of that, but also because it's the fight capital of the media capital of the world, you know? So
who's the A side in your opinion in this fight? From a popularity standpoint, I know there's a champion, but like from the draw.
Popularity standpoint, I mean, Ryan, I think, is more popular, you know? I mean, if you want to base it on numbers and, you know, Instagram and social media and all that, yeah, Ryan's but you have to be fair to the champion. I mean, that's in the history of the sport. The champion is always the A side. And I can't disrespect that. I can't turn my back on Haney. I can't, and I can't turn my back on what Ryan has built and developed over the years, but a true, real champion will respect the fact that Haney is the A side because he has that strap, you know.
This deal with Haney, it's just for this fight. The co-promotion between Golden Boy and Haney Promotions is just for this fight, right?
Yeah, just for this fight.
And was there ever, I know I asked them both this question, but I'm curious from your perspective, any talk of a rematch clause or a hydration clause, any of this stuff that kind of plagued the Tank fight with Ryan? Was any of that brought up?
No.
None of that.
And I love that. I respected that because, look, the truth of the matter is, if I personally would have negotiated that Tank Ryan fight, first of all, it wouldn't have happened. That fight wouldn't have happened.
Why not?
I think Haney would have happened first.
Why not?
Because of the rehydration clause, and the fact that Tank Davis received the bulk of the monies, the lion's share of the money. That never would have happened with me. Ever. Ryan's the one that sells. I mean, if you want to separate champion from popularity, from selling tickets, like, you know, there's different pieces to the puzzle, right? I have to respect everyone and figure out a solution for everybody. You know, that's where it gets tricky and difficult. And this is the world we're living in today. But if Tank Davis does not rehydrate Ryan Garcia, it would have turned out differently inside the ring.
You think Ryan wins?
I don't know if he wins.
But closer fight.
But it would have been a different fight. It would have been, you know, because Ryan has a special gift. He really does. He really does. He just has to be himself. If you let him be himself and he goes up in that ring, can beat anybody, you know?
So it's interesting that you say be himself, because he was just saying to us, like, now I feel like I'm myself for the first time. I feel like I've hit puberty as a person. You know, he puts a lot of himself out there on social media.
Yeah.
You've been open about your trials and tribulations.
Yeah, sure.
Do you try, you know, when he's putting himself out there and he's talking about the personal stuff that he's dealing with, is there any part of you that feels like you can resonate with this and help him and guide him, but for whatever reason, maybe he's keeping himself at an arm's length and you can't be that father figure that perhaps you were at the beginning?
I seriously, Ariel, I seriously would love to talk to him, like a heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to any fighter.
Right.
I promote more than 40, 50 fighters. I would love to talk to every single one of them. I'm here. Whoever wants answers to what I've lived and to potentially what you're gonna live,
yeah,
I have the answers, you know? Just ask me. That's it.
Do a lot of them ask you?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I do not know.
You're an open book. Last time we spoke about the HBO doc, like, you couldn't have been more open, right?
Open book. I have the answers for every question you might have.
Right.
Seriously.
And they don't tap into that.
No, there's a couple. There's one, like, I'm promoting this kid, Floyd Schofield, he's gonna be special. He is special. And he'll be humble enough to come to me and say, Oscar, you know, I need help here, this, that. That's great. It's beautiful. Like, Jesus, I mean, why commit those mistakes that past legends have committed where you don't have to? Just ask. Just ask. That's all you have to do is ask.
Is there any part of you that worries that Ryan will make mistakes that you made, that these are avoidable, these could be avoided, and yet you're kind of seeing, you know, there's so many similarities between you guys coming up. People wanted to pair you guys. Are you seeing any of those mistakes being recreated here?
I'm not part of his life, or, you know, I only see what I see on social media or whenever somebody tells me, hey, Ryan posted or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think, you know, what is he, 25 now? I think that, you know, at 25, you should have your head on straight, and, you know, and he found God, which is great, which is amazing, and that should, you know, keep him in a straight path, and you know, his beliefs, and which is amazing, and will keep him focused. But I don't know. I don't know where he's at, because they don't let me talk to him.
What do you mean they don't let you talk to him?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of...
His manager?
Probably.
Okay. You cannot pick up the phone and talk to him?
I can, because I have his number, but he never answers.
It'll create a problem. Jeez Louise.
He never answers.
Well, have you ever had a relationship with a fighter you promoted like this?
Relationship?
Like this, where you couldn't talk to the guy that you're promoting? No,
first time. Yeah, it's the first time.
How do you fix him and Bernard? Because he said you and...
Oh, Bernard's fine.
He's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bernard's good.
He's good?
Yeah. One thing about Bernard is that he's very intense.
Yeah.
And he tells you the way it is, and a lot of people, in general, just don't like to hear the truth.
Right.
And Bernard speaks the truth, but he speaks to you in a way where you're learning. He speaks to you where you're gonna grow, where it's benefiting you, you know? And, you know, Bernard is Bernard. He's straight up. He'll be good.
Okay. Because just for the record, he said, I don't know if you heard this part, that in his mind, you and him are good. Ryan said you and him are good, but him and Bernard aren't good right now. So
it's a matter of communication. That solves everything. That's it.
A lot of news today in the world of boxing, in particular regarding Canelo.
Yeah.
Have you heard that he's done with PBC?
I
you
read
give me
it.
a smile.
Yeah, I kept reading where he's done.
Yeah.
But look, in my 22 years of being in business and being around boxing forever, you just cannot believe anything you read, anything you see, until you see it on paper and it's written and it's signed and sealed. You just cannot believe it. So I don't know what's going on right now. I have no clue what's going on. Huh?
Because this came from ESPN, credible source, Mike Coppinger, and I do believe I was
credible source.
Is he not?
Who?
Mike Coppinger.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay,
he's good. He's
good.
Yeah.
So that's why I said credible source. But in the middle of the show, I was reading that the new sort of plan is, and this is all happening on live, May 4th would be Canelo versus Jaime Munguia, who's one of your fighters. Wow. So what could you tell us about this?
I mean, we've talked, Canelo holds all the cards here.
Sure.
That's the problem. It's the big problem. Canelo holds all the cards.
I mean, well-deserved, right?
No, well-deserved, but it's creating all this mess.
Okay.
That we're living now.
Yeah.
Right? And Canelo holds all the cards, and it's like, okay, and everybody wants Canelo on his platform, you know, whether it's DAZN or whether it's, you know, Amazon that PBC has.
Yeah.
So somehow I have to get to Canelo. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I have to talk to him.
You don't have, I mean, you used to have a business relationship.
Yeah, but we don't have a relationship
anymore.
No.
When's the last time you spoke to him?
I spoke to him, must have been at a Ryan fight. Yeah,
okay.
I think Canelo showed up at a Ryan fight in Texas, I think it was.
Okay.
And we briefly said hi to each other.
Is there a chance May 4th it's Munguia versus Canelo?
No.
No chance?
No.
Like zero?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Oh, you know, I just don't think so. I really don't. I don't know.
Would you like for it to happen? Would you be interested in making that fight?
Look, as a fighter and as a promoter, yeah, I mean, that's a great fight.
Yeah.
I've always called for a Mexican showdown, whether it's Cinco de Mayo or September.
Right.
I've always called for that, and obviously the stars are aligning where Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez can be those two fighters to have a Mexican showdown. But I just don't know when it's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. And you're saying not May 4th?
No, it can't. I mean, May 4th.
Why not?
Well, Canelo he just left PBC. I don't know if he's talking to DAZN now.
Okay.
I mean, who's going to pay him that huge guarantee?
Right.
Because keep in mind, Canelo wants huge guarantees. And in order for somebody to give him that money, I mean, you have to generate over 1 million homes on pay-per-view, and that's never a guarantee.
Right.
You know, so it's risky. So who's willing to fork over that money? I don't know. It's pretty risky.
Do you like the fight though on paper?
I love the fight.
Who do you think has a better chance of beating him, Munguia or Berlanga?
It's not even a question.
Not even a question.
No, Munguia would have a better shot. I think Berlanga.
Did you watch on Saturday?
I was driving, so I saw a couple of rounds. Berlanga still needs some work, and this is the truth, honest truth. I actually like the kid. I think I think that he has that energy, to become world champion, and but I think he's maybe like 3 fights away.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say about 3 or 4 fights away. Because see, there's levels to this. There's steps to this. He fought somebody who's never been on a big stage. He was getting hit. He was not hesitating, but I saw him a little impatient, but a little, just hesitant in throwing his punches against somebody who didn't belong in the ring with him, He still took him out, which was great. He made a statement, which was amazing. But a Canelo, a Munguia, other fighters are just on a different level.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would love to see Berlanga reach that level in order to have a great shot at beating these guys, So it's only fair.
Considering the news today, what do you make of the state of PBC?
Sinking ship. Yeah. It's a sinking ship. Everybody's jumping ship.
Do you think they're in trouble? Serious trouble?
Yes, I really do.
What do you think of
just from what I see?
Yeah.
And what I hear?
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna want to fork over guaranteed money? All that money. I mean, how many investors can you bring in? How many people can you dupe? Yeah. And I think I think the perfect example is like Wilder fighting in Riyadh and all these other fighters jumping ship. I mean, it's happening. It literally is happening.
What do you make of what's happening over there? Because I saw at the press conference for Ngannou Joshua, His Excellency Turki Alalshikh was asked about you, and he essentially said, like, you know, you can stay away if you're not happy with all the fights going there. Did you see this response? And if so, what is your response to that? And what do you think of these big fights going to Saudi?
Yeah, no. Just to clarify, what I said, they asked me, you know, should all these fights go to? And I go, no, not all of them. No, because my point was, Riyadh is doing a great job in making those big fights happen. But guess what? In Ngannou and
Joshua?
Who's fighting? Joshua?
Yeah.
Ngannou and Joshua, nobody's going to care on this side of the pond, you know, because of the timing. It's not going to create that much of a buzz. As big as a fight it's not going to create a big buzz. If it was here imagine that fight in Vegas, you would have record-breaking numbers on the gate, on pay-per-view. But so that's what I meant. It's like there's fights that can take place over there. Like, for instance, this kid that Canelo fought.
Dimitri
Bivol versus
Beterbiev.
Versus Beterbiev. And I'm sorry, I'm not remembering.
No problem.
But you can see it that way and have that fight there, and it'll do great. But that's the type of fight that doesn't do good over here for some strange reason, right? So it belongs over there, and it's a great fight, and the Excellency is doing an amazing job. But that was the disconnect. That's it. There's fights that belong here, and that's because fighters wanna create a legacy, and to create a legacy, you must fight in the U.S. You know, you must be huge in the U.S. Create big numbers, a big buzz, and then it spreads to the world. It's not spreading from Riyadh and then to the world. No, it spreads from the U.S. And that's not an attack on anybody. It's just reality. If fighters want to become legendary, it starts here in the U.S.
Have you met him, Turki Alalshikh?
Yeah,
you met him.
Yeah, he's a huge fan.
Huge fight fan.
Man, he loves the Ring magazine.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
He loves the history of. But he was mentioning how he loves Roberto Duran.
Right, yeah.
His favorite fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's doing great at what he's doing. I love what he's doing.
Would you like to do business with them?
For the right fights, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good fights that we can make, absolutely. But to my point, there's fights that have to take place in the U.S., you know, to grow the legendary status that these fighters want, you know. But there's fights that should be taking place in Riyadh for the money, you know.
Speaking of crossover fights, Ryan says he wants to go to MMA and fight Sean O'Malley. Do you know Sean O'Malley?
Yeah.
Sugar Sean, he's the...
Does he have purple hair now, or what color is it?
It always changes.
What color
Yellow, purple.
Yeah.
We'll see. He's fighting in 2 weeks in Miami.
I like him. He's a good striker.
Very good.
Yeah, right?
Great.
Yeah. See, I've been doing my
very dynamic. But he wants to. He doesn't want him to come to boxing. He says, Dana, I want to go to MMA. Now, the first thing that came to mind was your relationship with Dana. How could that ever happen? I mean, it would be a gigantic fight. Could this happen?
It'll be a hell of a promotion.
It would be,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be a hell of a
Would
promotion.
you be okay with that at this point? He said, if all goes well with Devin, I would love to explore that. Give me 3 months.
I would actually entertain that, because Ryan can fight, you know, in the main event with this kid, and maybe I can do Dana on the co-main.
I thought you guys are cool. Didn't you like say like?
No, we're cool.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I mean, I don't know if we're cool. I mean, I haven't even talked to the guy.
I know, but you put out a thing that you wanted to like bury the hatchet.
I'm good.
Yes,
I'm good.
Yes,
but it doesn't mean that we can go.
Have you seen him anywhere?
No, never.
No, never shook hands.
No,
because there was a time.
Does he live in Vegas?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
You live in Vegas too.
I live in Vegas, and I'm gonna do some big things in Vegas now.
Like what?
It's time for an Apex.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do your own version?
Boy Apex in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I moved to Vegas is to bring huge, big time boxing back to Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and from grassroots all the way to the highest level, and eventually having a fight with Mark Davis at his arena. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Not you fighting Mark Davis.
him,
Yes,
but
okay. At Allegiant Stadium.
At Allegiant Stadium.
Okay.
That's the goal. And so I've already put a group of people together. We're going to start discussing the plans.
To build your own thing, and then
build my own thing. Yeah.
What about like a performance institute, like they have there?
Everything.
That's what you want to do. You want to replicate. So despite
housing, performance.
So despite maybe your differences with Dana, you acknowledge that they have done a great thing over there with that.
Oh my gosh, they've done a tremendous job at building the sport. You know, I mean, obviously the difference is there's a big difference with boxing and MMA. I mean, the UFC or the UFC, right? The UFC is sort of in a monopoly, right? You know, where it's like take it or leave it with them. With boxing, it's a little different when it comes to negotiations, you know? So, because in boxing, you have various promoters, and in the UFC, it's only one. And who doesn't want to fight for the UFC, right? All these fighters want to be in the limelight and big stage, and even though you're not getting paid as well, you know, you still want to be part of that whole organization. So they've done a great job at building that.
So to go back to Sean, you'd be open to Ryan exploring this, and you would be.
I would be open to it.
Okay.
I would be open to it. Again, I'm doing what's right for
Ryan.
For Ryan, what he, you know, I'm doing what's right for his career. See, because if you asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said, no, there's no way in hell. I mean, come on, what is he going to do for his career? Fighting this kid would obviously put money in his pocket, would elevate his status, you know, worldwide, globally. And that's what a fighter wants, right? You know, they want to make a lot of money. They want to become popular. They want to become the man, you know. So, yeah, I would be open to it.
When Endeavor bought UFC and then WWE and created this TKO group, in the back of your mind, you feel like it's inevitable that they're going to get into boxing? Just given that name.
Yeah, TKO, technical knockout. Yeah, that can be interesting. You know, it can be interesting to see what happens with Top Rank.
It was a rumor
since they're part of ESPN. Yeah.
Do you think that would be good?
It all depends on what assets they have. You know, it depends on the fighters, what contracts they have. I know they have a great library, but the value of a library is not what they think it is. You know?
Okay.
I don't think. I mean, if they want to get into boxing, I guess good luck, right? They're gonna have to deal with me.
In what respect?
Oh, in every respect.
Do you see it? They got Vegas on Mexican Independence Day weekend. They're doing the Sphere.
The Sphere?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's big.
That's huge.
I mean, they got T-Mobile. Like, usually that was a boxing...
Oh, but there will be a boxing event in September.
That weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to be involved?
We'll see.
Okay. Will it be with Canelo?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. So for now, though, it's two press conferences this week.
Yeah, 2 press conferences.
You think they'll be, they'll be hostile?
Oh,
There's a lot of bad blood up there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is. You know, I had the pleasure of flying in with the Bill Haney. And,
you did?
And
okay.
Devin.
Yeah.
Nice people. Humble. I like them.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Really
your first
nice
time really
people.
working with them, right?
Like first time, yeah, because you know you see all this social media and this and that. No, and I got to spend some real quality time. Super nice people.
Okay, so you're excited about this.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Where would this rank as far as the biggest fights you've promoted?
Oof, wow. You got to keep in mind, I promoted 14 of Mayweather's fights, which were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's got to be top 10.
You think this could do $1 million?
Yeah, easy.
You feel good about that?
I feel great about it. Yeah, this can. See, you got to keep in mind that you have Haney, who is considered one like the top guy, like top 3, top 2. Like he's probably considered the best, you know, junior welterweight now, right? Because of his skill and you know, and he's willing to fight the best, you know. And then you have Ryan. See, what people don't understand, Ryan wants to fight the best. And I take my hat off to him because he comes off the Tank loss, fights Oscar Duarte, who was a tough banger, right? Can hit hard, can knock you out, He knocks him out. Now he wants to fight Devin.
No, it says a lot about
pretty
him.
ballsy, yeah. Which is
if he
good.
fights the way he fought against Duarte, if he fights that way on April 20th, can he win?
No.
Has to be better.
Has to be a lot better.
You like him with Derek James?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I do. I think that chemistry motivates Ryan to train harder, to train smarter, and to be disciplined. There's a certain discipline that you need, you know, and only the trainer can take that out of you. You know, when I was fighting, I was getting tired, I was getting bored, and this was after my 6th trainer. And then I got Floyd Sr., who would slap me around, who would throw buckets of water in my face to wake up in the morning. Did I like it? No, but I respected it. That's what it takes. And I think that dynamic, there's a respect there. And I think that can bring out the best in Ryan.
You think we'll see a scene like where on Fight Night you're kind of team Ryan and Eddie's team Haney, and you guys are going like toe to toe, or none of that?
No, because Eddie has nothing to do with this.
That's right. I saw you guys do a face-to-face, like sit down. It seemed like you were in a good spot.
Yeah, no, look,
I
want to do what's best for the sport. I know how to create superstars. There's a reason why Golden Boy has promoted the biggest fights in the history of this game. There's a reason why we discovered Canelo. There's a reason why now Ryan Garcia. There's a reason. There's a formula. You know, Golden Boy is. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm not saying that this and that. No, it's just there's a certain dynamic, a formula that there's a connection with the fans. There's a, you know, with the industry. There's you know, anybody teamed up with Golden Boy. I mean, I'm telling you, sky's the limit. And I know how to bring that out in fighters. You know, I know how to discover fighters. When I saw Ryan on social media. He was 17, 18. I saw him fight in TJ, not live.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this kid's special. Let me help him out here. Let's team up. Let's do something big. That's what we're doing.
The next chapter is April 20th. Oscar, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming in. There he is, Oscar De La Hoya. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.